Hi everybody and welcome to another Video Games Monthly unboxing. This is for December. I know this is a little late because it's February, so apologies for the delays in the schedule and getting this one out. This is actually my last box from Video Games Monthly for a while. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll have seen that for 2022 I'm going to try and get through the backlog of games that I've got, and I'll see if I can not pick up any new games this year. We'll put it off to next year. So this will be my last pickup box from Video Games Monthly for a while. Stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to do a little bit of a kind of final review of Video Games Monthly as a service, tell you what I like about it and maybe a few things that I could see improvements on, and give you kind of an overall score. So let's dig in and see what we got for this last box. Alright, getting into this last box, let's have a look and see what we received. So we have a 15% off Retro Game Books coupon code from Video Games Monthly. We'll definitely check out what books are available on that site later. Thank you for the coupon. We have 2 up, so our last box will have 7 games instead of 5. Thank you very much. And we have our usual card to remind us to post on social media and let people know what we got in the box and have a chance to win additional games. So let's have a look. What did we get in here? We've got some kind of Game Boy game. We've got Toy Story 2 on the Game Boy. So I have Toy Story 1, I believe, on the Genesis. So I got kind of an idea of what this game would look like. We'll put up some footage while I'm talking about it. But yeah, Toy Story 2, it's a great film. I believe it'll probably be a platformer in a similar style to the original Toy Story I have on the other console. So yeah, looking forward to checking out that platformer, see how it plays, see how it compares on the Game Boy to something like a 16-bit machine. Alright, let's see what the next game is. It's a Game Gear game, and we've got Echo the Dolphin. Alright, so Echo the Dolphin, had a lot of fun with that one on the Mega Drive / Genesis when I was growing up. We'll see what the 8-bit version looks like on the Game Gear. I don't know if they ever made a Master System port of that game, so if they did, it'll probably be very similar. Echo is one of those interesting games that I think people are a little conflicted on. Some people liked the game, some people didn't really understand how to play the game, and so didn't get very far, probably didn't like it overall. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle where I enjoyed the play and the look and the graphics for the game, but I also didn't really get very far, so we'll see how it plays on the Game Gear. Hopefully it's a game I can actually get to the end of at some point. Alright, let's have a look what our next game is in here. It's another Game Gear game. We've got Mortal Kombat on the Game Gear. So Mortal Kombat's definitely one of those games that ended up on multiple platforms, multiple versions. I believe I have Mortal Kombat 2 on the Game Gear, so we'll see how it compares to the first one. I imagine they probably got ported at a similar time, so they may have similar play styles and look and feel. It'll be a challenge, I guess, to see how it works with just 2 buttons for the controls, but there's also a Master System version, so that would have had a similar challenge with 2 buttons. Great game on the Genesis and the Mega Drive. Really good fun franchise. Great to play couch co-op. It'll be interesting to see if that game supports 2-player on the Game Gear, because that was a feature of the portable. You could connect them together similar to the Game Boy and play with a friend if they both had a copy of the game. So yeah, we'll see if that one is 2-player. I'm playing it on the Mega SG, so I don't really know how that would possibly work on there. I imagine it wouldn't, and it's only going to be 1 player, but we'll check it out. Alright, let's see what else is in the box. So we've got another Game Boy game. It's Super RC Pro-Am. That's awesome. I loved the Nintendo version of this game. It was a really good, fun little racing game, kind of isometric 2D view. Nice art style with a little remote control car look and feel. Really, really good fun. I've never played the Game Boy version, so we'll see how it compares to the NES 8-bit version, but that one will be really fun. There's a lot of replayability in that one, I can see. It'll be good to see if 2-player is an option as well with that one, knowing that you could link them together on the Game Boy. So we are 4 games in, 3 to go. It's about the midway point. What's left in this box? Okay, we've got VGM's mascot on a magnet, so we can stick that on the fridge likely, but that's very appreciated. Next one in here is a bigger cartridge. What have we got? It's Wheel of Fortune on the Genesis. Okay, Now, I did play this one a little bit before I filmed this just to check out the game, so I know it's very similar to the TV show. It came out in the 90s, early 90s. It'll be a challenge to play because it's US-based trivia, being the Genesis version, and I didn't grow up in the US, so there's going to be a lot of things in here from this snapshot of the early 90s that things I didn't grow up with. That's going to make it difficult. Interestingly, you can see in the footage that I'm playing right now that the first clue that came up was a sports team, and I'm actually based in Minnesota, but I forgot that the Minnesota North Stars moved away in the late 90s. So this game doesn't know that yet, and so the sports team that came up is not the one I thought it would be, which would be the Minnesota Wild. So that's kind of funny that I spent so long trying to figure out who this team was, and then realized that, oh yeah, this is info from the past, so no wonder I didn't recognize who it was. I'll definitely play through that one, and it does support multiplayer, so we'll get some extra people in there, and we'll go through a couple of shows. Let's go back to the box for the last two games. Okay, we've got Namco Museum on the Game Boy Advance. I've actually forgotten what games are on here, so we'll check that out, and there's probably half a dozen or so Namco classics. It will be good to have another Game Boy Advance game to add to the collection. I've only just recently started putting in games for the Game Boy Advance SP that I purchased, so slowly building that collection out. But having some Namco classics will be fun to add in there for kind of quick pick up and put down games. It'll be good to play through some of those classics again, rack up some high scores, hopefully get a little further in some of those original classics. And our last game, definitely last game in here, is a Game Boy Color game, and it is Japanese, and so I'll have to put the title up for you so you can see what it is. This will be relevant for my review of VGM, but one challenge with these is that not having a translation option and not speaking Japanese makes some of these games tricky to play. Not all games have language as a barrier, so we'll see if this one is playable or not without having to know the language too much. I had like a Pokemon style game come out of the box a month or two ago, and that one is kind of unplayable just from all the menus and options in there that are difficult to translate. So it's a challenge to really get anywhere into that game. Hopefully this one's not the same, but we'll see what it looks like. You'll get to see what it looks like right now, and I'll get to see it afterwards. So there you have it, that's our last box from VGM. Hopefully you enjoyed what we got out of that box. If you have played any of those games, let us know in the comments which one out of that group was your favorite. So a final review for VGM as a service overall. Very happy with the service. I got 6 boxes, as you can see, over the last couple of months. Went from 3 games, I think, to 5, and had a lot of 1-ups and 2-ups, which was really, really appreciated. I would say out of 5 carts, I would give it a 4, a solid 4 out of 5. I would deduct half a point for some features missing from the website. You can't really cancel your subscription from the site itself. You kind of have to email them to do that. And it's lacking a few features around more customization of what you're looking for. I know that typically it's going to be a random box each month of a number of games depending on what you're collecting and how many you signed up for. But I do know there are other collectors out there on YouTube who have contacted VGM directly to better improve the games that they get, whether that's a specific collection they're looking for, or just higher value games, and maybe you don't get as many each month, but you get more of what you're looking for out of the service. So clearly those preferences are possible, but the site itself doesn't really give you those options. If that improves in the future, then we definitely get back a half point. But overall, the site is very good at tracking what games you're already collecting and what you add to your own list separately outside of the service. So it's great for reducing any duplicates you might get from them. And then I would also dock another half point just for the international language games. If you've watched these videos for the past couple of months from my channel, I've definitely had quite a few Japanese games, and there's no actual way to even track that you received them on the VGM site. It already supports English games, so you can get games that are not tracked on there, which means A, you can't avoid duplicates in the future in case that happens, and B, there's no way to really give a preference on the site of not wanting to receive those games, because obviously some of them are a challenge to play. If the pool of games that you could get sent that were Japanese weren't too affected by the language barrier, I think that would be fine. Like if you got like an arcade shmup, or games at least that weren't dialogue heavy or dialogue dependent, I think you'd be fine. You'd be able to play through those games without too much trouble, occasionally maybe break out a translator. But you'll be fine. Overall, I would deduct a half point from just being able to receive those games and not really have any way to turn that off as a preference or track them. So, but overall, 4 out of 5, it's a really, really good service to have available if you're interested. The console selection is really good in there in terms of even being able to pick up stuff like PSP games. So you shouldn't really have too much trouble finding a system that you're already collecting for when you sign up. I will definitely consider it again in the future when I am collecting new games. So stay tuned. I'm sure there'll be more videos from VGM coming up from me in the future. If you liked what you saw in this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you want to see what else we come up with and also go and look at the back catalog of stuff on the channel, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.